Everybody, how you doing? I'm Paps, the Rising VTuber and artist, and we had a really short intro screen today because I was running slightly late. I'm on time. I'm definitely on time. I'm not late. I'm pretty sure. I think I started stream at like 7:30 on the dot. Well, in any case, we're here now. So, my friend Deity, they redeemed a... So I have a proper redeem that lets you like tack on something to my model, and somebody redeemed a other redeem that I have, which essentially lets you kind of vouch for an idea to create one of these. And the theme of this one is Hades nuts. And I, for one, cannot wait to try this out. So let's head into the work screen. Okay. Hey, look, it's me. I forgot that my model flipped. Hey, look, it's me. Alright, let's see if I can't start up the background music. There we go. That should be coming in pretty soon. Boy, I tell you, it is not a good day for this. I am so tired today. You know, listen, there's days where you head into stream and you're like fucking ready, right? Like, hang on, Supergiant Store. So there are days where when you head into stream and you feel ready to go, like you feel ready to pick a fight with just about anybody. And there are days where you feel like you're kind of dead on your feet. This is one of those days. But the good news is that hopefully this won't be too complicated of a problem, I think, of a design concept for myself. I do sincerely hope that I haven't actually, come to think of it, I can't think off the top of my head a project where I was like way in over my head. Like, yeah, there's been tough ones, but not ones where I've been like completely crushed. Maybe I need to like up my own ante in that regard. All right, hang on. Let me boost the tolerance on this. All right, so the good news is, so the way I wanted to do this was as follows, right? There is in the Supergiant Store an official pin of Lord Hades from the game, from critically acclaimed game of the century, Hades. For sale. You can buy this little guy. My idea is to... Hello from Tumblr. Hey, how you doing, Hope Drones? So my idea is to combine perhaps two great flavors that go great together, and just kind of grab this and add like a these nuts joke to it, as per the request from the prop redeem. But I have to do it stylishly, right? Like it can't be just like, you know, just adding text over it, right? Because that hurts my own integrity as a creator and as a jokester. So I'm just going to try and brainstorm a couple of ideas here. So I think, again, solution one, and I'm going to put this little guy up here, is solution one is to go full bubble writing, kind of almost like a rectangular plate type of pin. Because the idea is that this is either going to go on my forehead like a Meowth, or it's probably going to go somewhere on like my hood. That's something that I used to do. I have a bunch of pins. There was I tell the story a lot. There was a pin making day one time at my university. They had this like button machine that you could like make buttons from scratch on. And they had a pin making day where they just let you make whatever buttons you wanted with the pin machine. And I made like, shit, how many did I make? Let's see, we got 1, 2, I think at least like 5. Definitely more than 5. 5 feels like a low ball number. But yeah, I ended up making a ton of these, and I wore them all the time. I wore them on a hat that I had that I had to wear because of I have a bump. I wear this wig sometimes, you know, in order to fit in, and on that wig I have something of a bald spot on the back, and hair doesn't grow there anymore. It used to grow there, on this magic and on this supposed magical wig that I have that has hair on it that grows. It used to grow hair, not anymore. And if you cut the hair too close on there, you will see that bald spot very clearly. And hang on. It's always hard doing teas with this kind of like bubble writing. I like doing this bubble writing. My brother taught me how to do it when I was like, what? It must have been like 8. I don't think it was even my brother. It was like, I think it might have been my mom. And like we'll have the kind of head there. Anyway, I used to wear. Anyway, long story short, I got a bad haircut where I forgot to tell the barber that I had that bald spot there, and I had to wear a hat for like 3 months. Yeah, maybe I got some like peanuts or something in there. Hang on, let me rasterize this sucker. Vector layers are super useful, and I will advocate for their use, except when you're working with like freestyle concepts. Let's see. I hate this guy's stupid fucking twisty beard. Also, I feel like I should make him more sinister looking. Like, I feel like we're very close to, putting our family back together now that we've broken out of hell in Hades, but I feel like that's still a long ways coming. Another idea that I had, and this is going to come from, hang on, Hades Skull logo. Yeah, there's this logo that keeps popping up throughout the game, right? I don't remember where I saw it first. I think that's straight up like the Steam game thingy. I know words. The Steam. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. The little picture that shows up, the Steam icon, that's the word. Steam icon for the game is this tiny skull. So I feel like another avenue is to kind of go full. How do I say this? Go full. I want to say bad to the bone opening riff and just have this kind of. The real pain in the ass it's going to be for this project is going to be the little like civil crown, I think it's called. Like there was a name for these kind of laurels. Like they were supposed to be a type of crown. Anyway, the idea for that one would be something more akin to this. Still all that kind of idea of like bubble text, right? But with a unique twist that it'll have like the skull. The skull appears. And it also has the added benefit of what I call like having it be like this also has the added benefit of it being able to separate the word Hades, which makes my life infinitely more easy because then it's easier to like capture the joke. On the other hand, having this kind of shape and making it red is just crying for an Amogus reference. Listen, the Amogus references were really funny. I'll be the first to admit this. But there's only so much you can do. Also, how come... Did I smudge this when I transferred it over to the new canvas? That's kind of funny. Anyway, It's also hard because the Among Us were everywhere. Oh yeah, that's true. There weren't a day when you can where you can like trip over a new tutorial that had like yeah, draw crying eyes with like the Amogus shoes trick. And what pisses me off is that it works. Actually, no. What makes it funnier is that it works. What pisses me off is that because it wasn't so much the action of it that pissed me off. It was the fact that I had just wrecked my God-given pattern recognition senses to the extent that I almost immediately managed to recognize it. I was like, I had like that fucking vision from Terminator turned on when I installed that. Like it was on. You know how like Google will tell you how fast it took them to return like a billion search results to kind of flex on, I don't know, computers from the 90s. I have that same thing, but it's like pattern recognition for Amogus Eyes specifically. You know what? The skull one actually kind of goes hard as hell. I'm not gonna lie. The skull one is growing on me. But I kind of want to do a third one. I want to do a third iteration. I feel like there needs to be a third one. I have an idea. It's a horrible idea. No, scratch that. It's a fabulous idea. I just think it's going to be... Hang on. Sonic Adventure Sonic Adventure DX pose. Hang on, where's the... I need like an official render of it. This one. Alright, now hear me out. I'm just gonna grab this little guy. Just gonna take him from his home, uproot him. Ah, skull! Okay, so I just jump scared myself with a Hades skull. Not a high point in my career as a streamer, I think. We take those. Okay. So anyway, third idea. Yeah, no, I literally skull appears myself. Can't have shit in Tartarus. Actually, come to think of it, that is like a joke, right? Like you can't have shit in Detroit, can't have shit in Tartarus. I think you literally can't have shit in Tartarus. It's been well established that like Zagreus is gonna jump in there and just destroy everything that isn't, you know, indestructible. So yeah, you really can't have shit in Tartarus. Zagreus is just gonna like hop in there. Well, speaking of Wonder Boy Hades Jr., I actually do need a reference of him too. Oh, I think this might be the one. Jeez, I never took a close look at his design, but he really is shaped like a Dorito, huh? The young Kazuma Kiryu look. Alright, get in here, boy. Okay. Alright, so now the main... You know... I'm told that this isn't how it's supposed to work, but I'm gonna use it for my purposes anyway. The kind of dialogue ongoing here, the hypothesis is that if, you know, we have our hypothesis, we have our, which is like small funny-limbed blue hedgehog man. We have our antithesis, which is funny red tall man. And now we need our synthesis. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys, this will be dangerous. Yeah, we're doing dialectics in here. What's more, we are doing image-based dialectics. A forbidden and dangerous technique that has been the that has the last time people tried to do image based dialectics. I'm not supposed to tell you guys this, but the last time people tried to do image based dialectics, a library in Alexandria burnt down, and we lost a lot of knowledge like forever. Okay, so the tough thing here is going to be Sonic is not a very like beefy person. Hedgehog, he is not. It's at odds. You see, it's not something that's easily done. I know there are like buff Sonic the Hedgehog drawings out there. I've seen those corners of DeviantArt, but it's not what we're going for specifically. But hang on, this is gonna be this is gonna be really cursed. Listen, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is bad. I mean, like, it's upsetting to me personally. Like, it's good. It's a good idea. It's an excellent idea. Find some old JoJo art for references of buff guys in odd poses. Yeah. The tragic thing about that is, like, after like part 4, more or less, Araki stopped doing like super buff guys for everything and just started doing like lean but buff guys, which is fine. You got to do what you want as a creator, but I feel like, for example, hang on, there's a very spicy pose from part 7, not from part 7, yeah, from part 7. Hang on, Johnny Zeppeli pose. Fucking this shit. This is a wacky ass pose that is from part 7 of the JoJo manga. I love this pose. I think it's awesome. But unfortunately, these guys aren't. They're not tuqueados. They're not built like brick shit houses like dear old Universe 1 Jonathan was. God rest his soul. At the bottom of the ocean. Well, no, his soul is resting. His body isn't. Dio took that shit. Hang on. Man, I really like the hands in this pose, though. Like, the hands are magical. Everything else about it hurts my brain. Hang on. Let me get the lasso tool in here. A little bit too big on the fingers there. There we go. That's more reasonable, I think. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? I failed hard at getting into JoJo. That's fair. It's the thing about listen, Skillsies, buddy, look at me. The thing about JoJo, the thing about like very, there are things that are not gonna be like for everyone, and I do think that JoJo is one of those things. The thing about JoJo is that it is unlike anything else, which is why JoJo fans are so diehard about it. It scratches a very specific itch, but not everybody has that itch, if you understand. So I don't think it's like bad if you don't get into something. Like, I failed to get into a lot of popular stuff, right? So I don't think it's something to be like, I failed to be into that. It's not that you failed. It's that it just didn't like strike your fancy. You can't force yourself to like things. All right. Yeah. That's a lesson, I'm vocal on this, mainly because I had a hard time understanding that. As a kid, I thought that if I liked something, everybody must like it too. And boy, that was a mistaken belief. All right, anyway. I think it's important to take a step. I'm definitely probably going to go for this one, but I kind of want to see. I have like a perverse kind of. How do I put this? It's like a sunk cost fallacy into this Sagrius Sonic the Hedgehog pose. You know, to bring this back into that bit I was doing about dialectics. But yeah. Now, even I'm technically not all that into JoJo. Like, I like it. I like the JoJo memes. I haven't. I think like the only part that I've read completely is part 1, 2, and 5. Gonna try and get into Final Fantasy 14. The heart wants what it wants. Do what you must. Yeah, I also want to try. I also thought about getting to Final Fantasy 14, which has a limited free trial, including the Heavensward award-winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60. But I just don't have the right mindset for MMORPGs anymore. People are like, bro, hop on Final Fantasy 14. We got to do our dailies, and I'm like, bro, I can't even do my dishes daily. It's not happening. The logistics of it are in shambles. Yeah. But no, I know that I do think it's a similar situation for people who like Final Fantasy 14. I've heard that if you get into MMOs and you go to hell before you die. This is true. As somebody who, listen, the thing is, right? I mentioned that I don't have time for MMOs now. As a kid, I used to be super into MMOs. Like I wanted to play every MMO I could get my hands on. I don't know why. I think it was like mainly because like Unga Bunga new, you know, new stimulation from free game. I think that might have been like the major driving force behind it. But as a kid, I was like really interested in like MMO games. It got so bad, you know, I never spent a cent on them, but it got so bad that that when I applied for university, I applied using a new email address because I could not get past a fucking absolute clog of notifications in my old emails inbox because I had signed out to so much garbage over the years. That's a fun little story about myself. But yeah, I played some weird ones too. Like they were definitely like the shit you can only play in like South Korea or something. I don't know why I got into those so much, more so than the other ones. But yeah. No. Yeah, to bring this back around to the topic that I was on before though, I do think that Final Fantasy 14 scratches, you know, similar to how JoJo scratches specific itches for some people, I think Final Fantasy 14 needs to scratch a certain itches for other people. You know, a lot of it I think has to do with like character customization. I know that a lot of people are very attached, extremely attached to their Final Fantasy 14 characters. Let's see. I do wonder if anybody else has done this before I did. You know, the Zagreus and the Sonic Pose fan art. I might be breaking new ground here. Not a huge MMO person, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah. That's always a good attitude to take. Might as well see what the hubbub's about. Yeah. Expectations are something that's a lot of fun to think about when you try to consume new things. Because if you go into something expecting it to change your life, if it doesn't, you're going to be underwhelmed forever. So I think it's good to take like a relaxed approach whenever you're trying something new. Yeah, yeah. That actually leads me to another story. I watched Spider-Verse I think probably a year and a half after it came out. And by that point, everybody and their grandmothers was talking about, had talked, all there was to talk about Spider Verse. I had seen the memes, I'd seen like clips of the different scenes. So it was very difficult for me to like not go in there expecting the movie to change my life. But the good thing is that I am like literally it met most of the expectations and succeeded, surpassed some of them, which was a very cool moment. That was a good memory of mine. Just sitting down one night watching, watching Spider Verse. Good times. Oh yeah. One situation where I didn't expect anything, but got absolutely floored though, was when I watched this Chinese kung fu movie called The Five Deadly Venoms. The Five Deadly Venoms is a fun movie about. So essentially, this dude has this old master of his. The old master's kicking the bucket. He's not very long for this world. I think he actually dies in the same scene. And the old master trained five different students in five different styles of hyper deadly kung fu. I think there was I think there was the centipede style, the snake style, the scorpion, the frog style, or blizzard style. Fucking, I don't remember. I know the centipede one for sure was one of the styles, and essentially the old master's like, yeah, listen, I trained you incompletely in all five of these styles, but I trained those guys like super well in one specific style. Four of them turned evil, one of them didn't. So I need you to go find the one that didn't, or like find the four evil ones and slay them, and find the one that didn't turn evil and try to join hands with them, because otherwise, my boy, you are going to get your ass kicked. That was basically the kind of kickoff into the plot. And hang on, where's the? Okay, transferring Sonic eyes to a human being feels like I feel like I'm drawing like an. I feel like I'm drawing the the super form of the Little Caesars pizza guy. I'm sorry, Zacharias, but it really does feel that like that. Hang on. Let's see here. Jesus, he does have like really weird hair, huh? Boy, why are you putting in these orders for 5 gallons of hair gel? Okay. Ears are also a weird thing. It feels weird that I'm giving it ears. Again, due to the aforementioned Sonic the Hedgehog face thing. Okay, I think like the Sonic nose is going to be good. Eyebrows? Yeah, I think eyebrows are fine. All right, now we gotta. Well, I think first of all we should take a minute to reflect on the words and actions that led us to this moment. But I think the next thing I'm gonna mesh transform him to make him a little bit more like with the shape. Okay, we'll leave him there for now. I think we'll come back to that some other time. Yeah, when you get all the Hermes boons. Alright, hang on. We'll leave that guy over there for now. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. Be right back. Okay. Then trying to think about what we need to do next. I do want to do this skull one. I think I've got enough starch in me to try and do both. Hang on. I'm gonna copy and paste this. Yeah, this first design is definitely like a veto. These two designs, so I'm interested in doing. I am invested in the skull one and the Hades Sonic the Hedgehog, in the Zagreus Sonic the Hedgehog one. I think I'm gonna need to make the one bigger than the other. Actually, I need to keep these references around. Okay, so this can go. These guys can go. This can stay. We'll do the skull first. I think a good idea would probably be to turn on like a symmetry ruler or something, because that seems to be how this was made. I still can't believe I somehow smudged this thing when I brought it over. Look at it. It's got a little grease mark. Alright, so, Skull. Skull. Everybody. Alright, I'm shifting into skull mode. I don't have a skull myself. You know, being that my head is a bag of rice, I'm above such things. But then, Pabs, you may ask, what are your teeth connected to? Well, that's between me and the sun. Well, all you guys need to know is that I don't have a skull. I think that's all. I think that's about as personal as I'm willing to get. All right. I think increasing the brush size would probably be a good idea. Let's see here. Let's make it like scratchy too. I feel like that's going to look nice. There we go. Kind of like this. No. I can't stop myself from thinking about those, about that like riff whenever I draw like skulls like this. By the way, how's Hades been for you? Don't even say I hope you've had fun, because I imagine it's plenty of it when you're not getting squished like a bug. Oh yeah, no. I think what I've liked the most about Hades is definitely that it manages to make itself not feel frustrating, but also make you feel like you want petty vengeance on whatever wronged you your previous run. Yeah. Hi, Jupiter. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of what I like the most about Hades, is that it gets you into that mindset, but not in like, it doesn't feel like a negative way of doing it, right? Like, it feels like a very organic, hey, this guy squished me. It's not like, that's bullshit, I could have had him next time. Although I imagine that kind of varies per mileage. Mileage may vary for each player, but I've personally had a great time with it. Yeah, I recently beat the boss and completed my first run. It was, I think it took like 2.5 streams to finally do it, but I got there. I'm gonna like do this middle tooth. This motherfucker said varies per mileage. Ah, get his ass. No, you misheard me. I said berries per mileage. As in, delicious straw berries of the straw and berries of the blue. What would vary by mileage? I think that would be a good way to describe, like, in an alternate universe, that's how we would describe fuel consumption. Not your mileage may vary, but you may vary by mileage. Miles upon miles of delicious fruit. Yes, precisely. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to tell you guys this. But I'm exiled from Oz anyway. The Yellow Brick Road is named thus because of the delicious lemon peels upon which it is built. And not just lemon peels, there are many other citruses and antioxidant-rich fruits on the way. Driving by a car, instead of saying cows, it's berries. If you live in a place that has a lot of strawberry farms, I imagine that's just like daily life. Yeah, I've never lived in a place with a lot of strawberry farms. I do know there is like a place where you can go strawberry picking in near where I live, but I've never done that. So I think step one is actually expanding the eyes quite a bit. And I've got a secret technique handed down by generations upon generations of my ninja clan to do this, which is called the liquefy tool. And this is this is going to be kind of funny, actually. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the medicine. All right, hang on. Now we got to just push these guys a little bit away from each other. I'm sorry, it's just very silly looking. Let's see here. Lizard eyes, yes. Yeah, they couldn't find a human skull in time for the game release, so they ended up using a lizard skull. Yeah, it was the same lizard skull that was in a deleted scene for 2001: A Space Odyssey. Where, yeah, you know that how in 2001: A Space Odyssey they don't have like a single word spoken for like the first 37 minutes of the film. Yeah, there was a cut scene that in the director's cut, never released, never seen by mortal eyes, that had a scene where they showed the missing link, and it was literally this lizard skull just like chomping around for a few bits. They were thinking about bringing it back as halftime entertainment, but it never made the cut. This fellow lives under a heat lamp, precisely. Yeah. Lizard brain is a phrase that I'm very fond of. Because sometimes, yeah, I do feel like a monitor lizard that just got out of a nice cozy spot and wants to be put back in immediately. Like, listen, have you ever eaten... Okay, so I know that that Japan has this. You're not supposed to do this, I think, but like you can if you're brave enough and don't fear salmonella enough. I think like it's because in Japan they have like a very weird food safety grade thing. But essentially, the idea is that you make like a steaming hot bowl of rice, like a bowl of rice that's so hot you might actually burn your hands touching it. So you make that super hot rice, and then what you do is you crack an egg directly into this exists in Korea too. Bibimbap, I think it's called. You crack an egg directly into the hot plate with rice in it, and you cook the rice as you mix it with the egg, or like you cook the egg as you mix it with the rice. And it is so good. It is so tasty. It like imagine, if you will, the most delicious egg fried rice you have ever had. You are mistaken because it is not whatever I am imagining. Like, I mean, obviously for the bibimbap in particular, it's not just the egg and the rice. It's got other stuff in there too. But you know what I mean. But yeah, when you eat that, you truly feel like sympathy with like the dinosaur who would have risked life and limb to eat one of their other fellow dinosaurs' eggs. You're like, I get it, bro. I understand now. Like you have like a Lion King style dream sequence where you see like the forefather of your forebearer of your forebear of like your a tuple bear or whatever. You know, assuming 4 bears isn't enough, you need like an exponential number of bears. You know, 4 bears, 8 bears, 16 bears. The the LGBT community has forgiven the hungry T-Rex. Chickens know what's up. They'll eat the eggs themselves. Exactly. This is why chickens will outlive us as a species. Yeah. I do actually think that was like the plot of like a. Yeah, earlier we were talking about MMORPGs. I remember there was like a weird MMORPG showcase I saw one time that had like this MMORPG where you played as like an animal, and one of the options was to play as a chicken. I mean, granted, if you try hard enough, I imagine there's ways to roleplay a chicken in other games as well. But that one let you like really immerse yourself in the experience. Let's see. Hmm. No, hang on. It's missing a little bit of something here. Let's see. I don't know why I made that skull so angry looking, but I dig it. I like how this is coming out. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so these guys have a kind of like teardrop design towards the end like that. The nice thing about using like symmetrical rulers for drawing is that you don't have to worry about the other side until like way later. Let's see here. Kind of like this. Yeah, that looks good. We got another one of these like the stems in here. Mm-hmm. I don't want to copy it one for one, right? Like I don't want to like carbon copy this skull. Hmm. I feel like it almost needs a second one over here of these like outward petals. Mm-hmm. Especially because I feel like I can't make it curl over the skull itself like this anymore. At least not until like around up here. Hey, Top Buzz, how you doing? Let's see here. Okay, yep, that's something. That's definitely doing something for me. Sissing, thank you. How are you doing? Good. I'm turning Zagreus into the Sonic Adventure sprite in like 30 minutes. I'll need to color the skull first, or at least finish the line work on the skull first. Yeah. I remember that I used to do a thing where, like, the moment I finished a game, I would do like fan art for it. I think this counts toward that. The funny, it's the funniest thing, right? Like, I'll do a fan art for a very calm game with in my usual style, which makes it look like an action game, and then I'll end up doing like something for Hades that's just like, the action game that I've played, and it's just like Zacharias Sonic Adventure 2 pose. I don't know. There, it feels like it has some kind of weird cosmic appropriateness. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I would never joke about my own creation. All right. Just make your after game fan art the SA2 pose always. Huh. You talk sense. Yeah. That would actually be a really interesting idea. I remember a friend, a fellow VTuber, Shelly. She used to make. One time she made like this huge board. I think I might still have it actually. Let me see if I have the image handy. One minute, please. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, one time she drew a whole bunch of VTubers in this style. Very cute. I'm over here, by the way. I think Jupiter, you're also in here somewhere. Oh yeah, there you are. I think that's you. Yeah. Yeah, it's a coat. But yeah, no, Shelly's really good. Oh hey, it's a JoJo pose. Anyway, I think if you do that enough for all the games that you play as a streamer, and eventually like compile them together, you're gonna get something mighty powerful. Yeah. What's that one saying? Quality has a quantity, all of it. Quantity has a quality on it, all on its own. All right. Listen, I am going to give you each. I am grabbing tickets and World War II style rationing them out. You each get to make one Amogus joke about this A. One each, okay? Take your ticket, make your joke, redeem it at the counter. Hang on, that actually doesn't look quite right. This is such a funny face. It's like, nope. Anyway. Hmm. No, I think that the best idea is to just have it be like that. Like just have like maybe two of these together. No. How did I do that in the original one? I think I did end up making like a square. All right, Hope Drones. That was a very good use of your ticket. Thank you very much for volunteering to be first. No, that doesn't feel right. Fuck it. Joke within a joke. No. It can't, that doesn't feel like the right answer. Maybe. Okay, I think maybe what I need to do is I need to like almost expand the gap down here. Oh, hang on, I might be onto something with this. There we go. And then we'll add one here and one over here. All right, I think what my gut is telling me is that I do need to add like a little gap for each of these. Not too big. Not too big. Just like a needle hair gap. Needle's width gap. Small, slim enough to fit a coin through. Let's see. Here we go. Now the T's bar need to be at an even angle. Let's see. Okay, and just one last little bit. Okay, I think we can all agree that goes hard as fuck. Like that's pretty good, if I do say so myself. I'm just gonna turn on the symmetry ruler here like one last time for like one last little leaf thing up here. My only complaint is that it doesn't look like it's biting down on it. I think like if it looked like that. Kind of like that. Like I really want this skull to look like it's just like steel jaw lockdown gripping the nuts. Do you ever like speak a sentence out loud and like realize to yourself how absolutely ridiculous it is? I have that happen to me regularly, but like I think I just got an especially strong dose of it. I'm gonna make this triangle here a little bit bigger. All right, I'm gonna color that in like just a minute, but we have more work to do. Speaking of which, I think I need to increase the line thickness even more for this next one. Summon a rice piece, as you wish. There we go. Come here, little buddy. All right. So we'll have the rice piece supervising this complicated and sensitive process. Yeah. Listen, doing the Sonic Adventure 2 pose on any human character is a lot like the Demon's Core. Have you guys know the Demon's Core, right? The Demon's Core, we've all seen that, right? My worst nightmare is that at some point at work, like in my office job, I have an office day job, and my worst nightmare, the super radioactive thing, correct. My word, and thank you so much. I'm this that was validating. Anyway, my worst fear is that at some point I'll say something that I feel is completely normal to say at my day job, and it'll be the most outlandish shit they've ever heard. Like I feel like I'm very good at hiding my power level at my day job. Like, I don't talk about like, like, oh hey, I'm a live streamer. I don't talk about that. I don't, particularly since I'm a VTuber. I think that's supposed to have like a bigger taboo to it. But I don't talk about like the stuff I do outside of work at work. And this has like the weird benefit of like one, that again, it's good for my privacy. I like having my private life, right? Yeah. Hiding your power level. I like it because I enjoy having that kind of like private life to myself, right? I don't like people being able to judge me upon the things that I do in my own home because that makes them feel less safe. Can you tell that I was like bullied in middle school? Anyway. Yeah, I do that at work. There's something wrong with this hand. I mean, besides the obvious. And hang on. You draw vector line width. Not you. No, that's too thin. Hang on. I have to like. Oy, Dios mío, no. Hang on. I gotta like. No, that's not quite right. Getting warmer. Not quite. Hang on, I gotta get the Sonic Adventure 2 reference back in here. Get in here, little guy. Alright. So we'll have this guy. Let's disappear the skull for the moment. We'll have this guy just kind of hang out over here. Okay, I think where I went wrong is that it's actually like not like curved this way, it's curved the other way. So if I flip this around like so. There we go. Life hack. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pose not working out? Just flip your fingers. That is actually something that I've been noticing a lot is that if I find that I'm having a hard time with like a pose, I often try like flipping a part of it. I don't know how to put it. Like I think there's like some kind of weird muscle memory in me trying to draw the same thing twice because I found that like if I draw like a pair of eyes, if I flip one of them, it'll always look a lot better in terms of like the shape than if I had just drawn it normally. It's super weird. I don't know why it happens to me. And I can't imagine I can't place anything in my training that would have like I say training in my hobby that would have like caused me to do that by instinct. Like I know that currently my biggest problem is that because I draw myself so often, right? So I can draw like a very quick 10 to 15 second pabs right here. So hang on. So that's not like that's adorable, but that's not proportional to a normal human being. So I think like what ends up happening is that I tend to make my human characters a little bit like wider that they need to be. They're very stout. So that's something that I got to work on, like repairing. Hmm. Yeah. That being said, I do kind of come alive when it comes to drawing thick lines like this. I do enjoy that. Hang on, I gotta like narrow down this line a little bit. All right, connect vector lines. Redraw. There, that seems like a good amount of pressure. Okay. Here we go. Drawing feet is always really funny to me because a lot of people have been like, okay, I can't pay too much attention to the way I draw feet, or else people are gonna think that I've got like a foot thing. But I think it's really funny because I'm just like desperately trying to keep track of the number of toes that I've drawn, not trying to accidentally give them like 4 toes or 6. Like, okay, I know that there are 5 toes on the foot. That is like my lifeline. Here we go. Not quite. Hang on. That works. Oh God! Now I'm imagining what Sonic's foot looks like beneath his shoe. Oh yeah, it's an unpleasant thought. I've had that. We've all had that moment, right? We've all had the moment where we think about like what Sonic's foot looks like under his shoe. And at the moment that, and if you're having that moment today, particularly because of me, I feel like I should apologize to you. Yeah, my bad for introducing that into your thoughtscape. What does Sakuras' weird leg pauldron look like? You know, you'd think for a kid whose main jam is going around and getting himself murderized, he'd wear more armor. Okay, so it ends at the skull point. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think this is. No, hang on. I've got an idea. Okay, that's a good line. I want to keep that line. Okay. Okay. Yeah, what does a toga strap thing look at like from the side here? Get your giant skull out the way. Damn. Okay, I see. Okay. I forgot to draw the like triple dog, three dog moon shoulder pad thing that he's got there. Where did he even find those skull things? All right, hang on. Okay, so we'll see one kind of coming in from here. Okay, and they've got horns somehow. Actually, I've got a funny idea for something we can do. Have the shoulder skulls make the same expression. Although I feel like the elbow skulls need to be like slightly lighter in terms of line thickness. Hang on, this one might take a minute. There we go. Now I feel like that's like, hang on, I need to squash this thing's skull down like this to make room for the other ones. Why do you need so many skulls on your shoulder, bro? I understand they're kind of like a common commodity where you live, but you can chill. Let's see. Where do they even come from if there's three matching ones? Yeah, that's the weird thing, right? Like, I mean, I think it might be like a tiny Hydra. Because I feel you can actually see here that the bones aren't disjointed. They aren't like, they're not three separate, well, they are three separate heads, but they're not three separate creatures' heads. Clearing's been a hot topic. Yeah, no, right across the way from where he got like his absolute like lack of shoes, Zacharias spotted like this fashion accessory at the Hot Topic. I don't know. I feel like a lot of Zacharias' clothes he would have either had to like find himself, because I don't think his dad would have bought. First of all, I don't think there's a way to buy clothes in the underworld unless it's from Karen. Makes me think of Serb, and I don't know if that was the intent. It's got ears. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, yes, it's got ears. It's got ear-like appendages, but those are horns, I think. Ears don't have bone. Do they? Do ear have bone? I know human ears are cartilage, but what about, like, animal ears? I know for Triceratops, yeah, fun fact about Triceratops, the reason that they managed to, like, not get eaten so often, they had a pretty good track record of not getting eaten, but the reason they had that good track record was because unlike most animals who have their horns made out of, like, you know, keratin or some other whack-ass shit, Triceratops horn were, like, straight up made out of bone. This is from when my dog died. He's fine, though. We live in the underworld. Yeah. Zacharias accidentally fed Cerberus chocolate one time, and, well, he's never really lived it down. Cerberus was fine afterwards. He died, but he was fine because again, underworld. Yeah, I think I like the shape of that. The shape of that thing. Let's see. Narrow this down a little bit. Actually, thicken it up a little bit up here. The one bad thing about like the narrowing and the expanding thing is that it can really mess with you if you've already cut the different vector lines. Dog ears are cartilage. Huh. Okay, so that probably means it's not Cerberus. Cerberus might have ear bone. We don't know about Cerberus's life. That dog is owed his privacy. Maybe Zach took some Hydra skulls and made it look like his doggy as a strange equivalent of putting your dog's face on a t-shirt. I think I like that answer the best. He's like, okay, what's hardcore? Hydras. What's more hardcore than Hydras? Cerberus. What do I like? Cerberus. I will turn these Hydras into Cerberus. Today, I am a genius. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's the equivalent of wearing. I joked about this earlier being the 3 wolf moon shoulder pad, but that's really kind of. I think that might be exactly what it is for Zagreus. I know we're not really given like a hard age for Zagreus, especially because it's irrelevant due to the way that godhood works. But I do like to think that he's. I think he would be over 20, but he can't be older than. I feel like he's probably not older than 25. So I feel like he's definitely in that kind of university age where he's down to do some stupid drunken shit. So I feel like he would definitely wear one of these things. Rest in peace, Zagreus. He would have loved flame patterned clothing. Hmm. Here we go. It's not quite that pronounced. There we go. Got it. I don't talk about it much. I used to play this game called Neo Scavenger. It's a very good game. I recommend it if you also enjoy roguelikes and getting your teeth kicked in. It's much less merciful than Hades, but it's also another fun roguelike. Oh yeah, I should probably bring up a picture of the 3 wolf moon t-shirt thing. Yeah, there's this infamous t-shirt design which has 3 wolves howling at the moon. In the game Neo Scavenger, I think it's this one. It's this one or it's either that one or this one here. But yeah, this is a famous design. Famous in the loosest sense of the word. But basically the idea is that you put 3 wolves on a t-shirt. And this game, Neo Scavenger, actually had that shirt in-game. And part of the description of it was a product review of the shirt, because Neo Scavenger is a post-apocalyptic game. And the description of the item comes with a product review for the shirt. And the dude reviewing the product was like, yeah, I feel like once I wear this thing, I can commune with the beasts. I try to talk to my pug, my pet pug with it, and I feel like he really understood me. And I'm like, you are so valid, my man. It was some of the funniest stuff I've ever read. My pet Pog. Correct. All pets are Pog. Yeah. My brother got himself a dog a long time ago, and every single day of my life, I think about something stupid that that dog has done because it's done it all. But it's such a cute dog; it's impossible to stay mad at it. Yeah, he turns into a little croissant when he lies down. How can you not love him? Okay, let's see. Okay, that's huh? Okay, I think I. Yeah, no, hang on. All right, so we've done most of the lad here. Now, now when Jupiter said my pet Pog, I'm just thinking of like a new variant of My Littlest Pet Shop, My Littlest Pet Pog. It looks exactly the same as the normal toys, except that they have like gamer headsets and LED lights. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna move the arm somewhere over here. Like I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit so that it's not directly kind of competing with that little like armband thing. Let me take a look at Sonic's smile. It's like a Nike swoosh. I can't believe they got me to say that. A lot of brands, you know, I've talked about like how brands will like demand very specific wording for their for like their products, their logo, etc. And that's part of like copyright law. Like they're trying to avoid a situation where you can say I'm going to Google that because that way they lose money on like branding, right? Like the worst thing to happen to Google, the worst and best thing to happen to Google was that people started saying I'm going to Google that because then they're no longer a product, they're like an action. And while that makes their product ubiquitous, they don't actually receive any benefit from that, particularly because Googling something has entered like the dictionary. So they legally cannot, you know, if somebody says, I'm going to Google that on television, they can't like say, oh, but we're going to have to charge you if you want to say that. You know, they can't do that anymore, which is pretty awesome, but a pretty bad deal for them, all things told. It feels weird that he doesn't have a neck. It's normal when I don't have a neck, but it's weird when I don't when I make other people not have a neck. Hmm. I feel like I need to make the next few hair strands like a little bit shorter. Pet Pog as the most squish-faced dog with a headset and keyboard, looking shocked. That would be nice. Yeah. The only downside to constantly like making up stories for like you guys have heard me talk. You know that I like to make like whimsical scenarios for y'all. But the tragic thing that happens sometimes is that these scenarios will be more beautiful than real life, and that's when it all kind of falls apart. Let's see here. Okay, so I need to get the skull out of the way. Okay, so it's got like... It's almost like a maple leaf, isn't it? The hair on the side. Hang on. I'm gonna make this kid bald. And I'm gonna Google what a maple leaf looks like. Here we go. No, it needs to be like flatter there. No, I think it... Okay, I think I see the issue here. There we go. I think the most shocking thing to me is that when Zagreus finds the person that he's looking for, she ends up having the exact same hairstyle as him, and that almost made me like fall out of my seat with laughter. Like the most kind-looking cottagecore woman in her 40s or so that you have ever seen in your life, and she just has an anime protagonist haircut. It's wonderful. An extremely powerful feeling. Yeah, forget anime moms with the like over the shoulder braided hair. We need anime moms with the same hairstyles as their children have. Here we go. Hair is genetic after all. That's true. Hang on. Yeah. God. remember how Metal Gear Solid was like, oh yeah, recessive, like Metal Gear Solid made like a whole mess of like genetics by saying like, oh yeah, Snake had like the dominant genes, or like Liquid had like the submissive genes or whatever, and it was all just like bullshit. Like literal out and out bullshit. Like they weren't even trying. I love that for them. It really was. You can't top just like, listen, right? I feel like there's a very distinct difference between trying to apply science in a way that doesn't make sense and applying science in a way that doesn't make sense to the extent that if you actually try to criticize it, it makes you look stupid rather than them. Recessive, right? Recessive genes. Oh fuck. No, not the word I said. Right? Fuck. Oh Jesus. Nobody go back and clip that. Anyway, I was saying something. Anyway, there's like a very powerful middle line where you can have like bad science that is so bad, so on purpose, that you look like an idiot if you try to criticize it. And this is like what happens in, like, for example, Spaceballs, right? Like in Spaceballs, they have a lot of stupid shit going on there, but in particular, like the vacuum idea and the like finale of the thing is just so stupid that if you're like, well, a vacuum wouldn't work in space, you are instantly outed as somebody who does not like to have fun. Smooth shark. Except, I mean, no. I actually don't like the smooth shark joke all that much. I'm not gonna lie. Like, for a guy that like whose bread and butter is again like making these whimsical scenarios, I don't know why, but I don't like the smooth shark joke. I'm not like a huge. Why did I give this thing such bulging like skull eyes? There we go. Anyway, I don't know why, but I just never got behind the smooth shark joke. I feel like that's almost like the opposite of it. Is like the joke that I'm trying to speak about is like you're saying that like I mean no, I think it is like a flip side, but like I think part of it is that not only do you have to, say something stupid enough that if anybody tries to criticize you, they look like the idiot for pointing out something so obvious. It's also the fact that you just let them do it. Because for the smooth shark joke, the whole bit is that it's the insistence that sharks are smooth when they are in fact not smooth. And past a certain point, like at first it's like funny. It's like, nope, sharks are smooth, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, yes, we giggle along, but like I feel like past a certain point for me, it stops being funny because you're not building on the joke. It's not a new joke. It's just same thing over and over. It's like expecting to laugh every time when like you talk to like you know how like Borderlands will have the characters say funny stuff, but they say it so often that it's like no longer funny. It's just annoying. It's kind of like the same idea for me. Like past a certain point, it just doesn't feel funny anymore, and at that point, it just feels like we're being mean. If that makes sense, I don't know. I don't know. That's my personal take on it. It's not going to be everybody's opinion. I think some people obviously think that the smooth shark joke is really funny, but it's not my cup of tea. I can accept this. Similar to how I feel on it. Yeah. It's like expecting the same jump scare to scare you over and over. Yeah, to some extent, yeah. I think that's why I find them personally boring after a while, but like I also just don't feel like obviously making a fool out of someone can be funny, but if you just keep doing it and just keep doing it, I feel like that's got to hurt the other person's feelings like a little too much. It feels a little too mean-spirited. I don't know. This is all my take on it. I don't think anybody who like I'm not saying that like anybody who did the smooth shark joke is mean. I'm saying that it's not for me. Fix width. If I could fix the width. Oh, that's what it does. Oh shit. Well, that's going to be actually very useful, isn't it? Hang on. I want to try something here. Hang on. Let's try for 14. Well, how about that? Hang on. I gotta use this judiciously. Yeah, you see that, right? Like it just makes the thing the same width all over the place. Holy shit. Truly, you learn something new every day. Yeah, for real. This changes everything. Well, actually, no, it just changes a couple of things. But the things it does change, they are magnificent. Yeah, I like the additional like width on that bad part, but I think like that's a good enough use of it for now. I'm actually gonna like redraw some of the points here. Ideally, I'll be able to like. No, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Hmm. Can I like move this down like this? There we go. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing Operation on this thing. Okay, the next up is Flaming Hot Cheetos type circlet. What is that back there anyway? Some kind of leaf thing that's being blocked by the giant skull. Okay, I've got an idea for how to fix my shoulder problem. I create a shoulder. Yeah, okay, that works actually. Hang on, we can make this work. Hang on. Simplify vector line. Okay, no, first we gotta connect the vector line. Then we gotta simplify it. Something like this, maybe? Then connect these two like this. And simplify this one. I probably shouldn't ask the process the whole line like that, but hang on, we might be able to get some better results this way. I feel like we almost need to simplify it even more. Actually, hey, that kind of works. Hang on. Huh. Interesting, interesting. It feels weird because he doesn't have like the normal round friendly face that I associate with Sonic the Hedgehog, but I feel like this works. This can work. I just kind of want to avoid making like a what do you call a tangent somewhere. So yeah, have you seen my streams before? Hop Drones, thank you for the follow. Hope Drones. I'm sorry. I don't know if I think I might have just said Hop Drones. Hop Drones is what they used to call the beer making bees that lived in ancient Greece. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, seriously, what is up with this leaf here? Gotta go now, though, so good luck with the art. Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by. Actually, I'm gonna increase the decrease the increase on these dogs a little bit. There we go. I know I said I needed to use that thing judiciously, but I lied. No, I didn't lie. The situation changed. There we go. Also, I think I'm just going to erase this stuff in here, inside of the poncho thing. I know it's a toga, but it looks like a poncho. It's a poncho to me. There we go. Okay, now I think I might be stalling to avoid having to draw this stupid circlet thing. Okay, I just gotta kind of like do it natural style, you know. Just let the pen take hold of me. Really let the flow settle in, and pray that this doesn't end up looking like some kind of weird biomass invading the side of his head. That does remind me. I watched V play Dead Space the other day, and one of the things that the characters did is that they launched one of the creatures in the game in an escape pod to get rid of it. Which fair, I might have done the same thing in their scenario, except for one thing. Why couldn't they just take the escape pod themselves? Like at that point, you know, having seen the creatures themselves, I feel like they would have like tried to cut their losses somehow. But they didn't. They just like decided to like keep dicking around on the spaceship for some reason. I might have just not been paying enough attention to the actual plot of the game, but I feel like once there are creatures in your spaceship that were never supposed to be in there, I feel like that's your cue to start booking it out of there. You know, that's the creature spaceship now. Hang on. Okay, I think this guy's ready to go. Crunchy wrists. How are we for time? We've got half an hour. We can color these guys in, no problem. All right, let's see here. I need to take away the Sonic reference, but I gotta keep the Zagreus one. Actually, there was one last thing I wanted to do, which was to correct the line width on these guys. Not really correct it so much as like even it out, because I feel like that looks a little better. Does it though? No, I don't think it does. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. Let me grab your skin tone there, boy. Let's see. Whoa, no! Don't color in his legs that way. It makes it look like I took off his stupid little leggings. There we go. Oops. Actually, it's kind of more of an ashy tone, isn't it? It's more like a dark blue. I like it more like this. Am I, hang on. Oh god, now it is the Little Caesars mascot. Hmm. Actually, the feet need to be orange. Did we ever find out why it is that his feet are like that? Like, did we ever, like, get... I would trust him to deliver my pizza. Yeah. In less than 3 death defies, or it's free. Actually, if it's above 3 death defies, and it just does not get delivered unless you've got that lucky trinket installed. There we go. Got a little bit of line overlap over here that I'm not a super huge fan of. He's going to keep on trying even after he got smushed like a bug by some giant creature that came between him and his destination. Yeah. Zacharias canonically doesn't know what birds are, so he could just get attacked by seagulls and think like white bats killed him. Oh my god, if Zacharias met a goose, he would be terrified. Like, could you imagine not knowing what a bird is and then having your introduction to birds be like a cassowary or like a goose? Scarred for life. Scarred for life. Like, you'd never want to meet a bird after you meet a goose. And especially not a cassowary. Those things are fucking vicious. Geese suck. Mm-hmm. It is a decent day in Hades, and you are a horrible goose. Cassowary are actually raptors. Oh yeah. No, listen. People have a hard time believing that dinosaurs were related to birds, but they've never met a cassowary either. Huh, come to think of it, Zacharias and Sonic do actually share an eye color, don't they? I don't know what to do with that information, other than subtweet Supergiant. I would actually like to see like the design doc for Hades' characters. Like, what was going through the character designers' heads when they made like a bunch of different characters? Because for some of them, like Aphrodite, like the vibe they're going for is very obvious. Like for Aphrodite, they just wanted to make a very attractive naked woman, and they succeeded. But for like Zacharias, I do wonder like what the inspirations would have been. Hang on, I'll get this someday. There we go. Yeah, I feel like I need to make these colors more vibrant. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to like increase the contrast. No, that looks awful. Hang on, what happens if I decrease the contrast? Oh, that's also bad. All right, here's what I'm gonna do real quick. Okay, first I need to finish up the circlet here. Hang on, I'm gonna use the milling pen for this part. Here we go. That yellow is actually kind of difficult, hard on the eyes, isn't it? When I was a kid, I read this book series called Skullduggery Pleasant because I thought the idea of a skeleton with a gun that shot ghosts was fucking awesome. Rightfully so, I might add. But the one thing that I do remember from that series, besides some of like the very good action writing that there was in there was like a lot of very good like writing in for like action stuff. Like it was one of the first action series where I was like, oh man, I actually understand what's going on. What the hell? I mean, that could have just been a byproduct of me reading it at exactly more or less the time when I gained consciousness, and as like a tween. But part of it was also one of the most memorable things about those books to me is the fact that like the main character has a very nice Bentley car that he only drives in like his crime fighting persona. During the daytime, to maintain his cover, he drives the ugliest cars known to man, including a canary yellow car that the main character calls the Canary Menace. Such a good book. I wonder what I wonder what like the author's up to these days. Yeah. A friend of mine also, one of the only other young adult book series that I was convinced to read as a young adult. They're having a much harder time convincing me to read them as a normal adult. Was actually The Ranger's Apprentice, which was a neat book. I remember getting into it because a friend of mine was super into it, and he kept recommending it to me, and I was like, all right, I'll read it. And lo and behold, it was actually decent. There we go. I'm actually going to remove one of the teeth from the skull up here. How are we for time? But we're at 9:20. We've still got time. Oh, sorry, 8:20. Now, for our Eastern listeners, will you say, good evening, radio audience? Good evening, radio audience. That was, the only reason I know that recording is because of the Lemon Demon album, and it's a lot of people find it like creepy, but I don't find it creepy at all. I like it. I like the cheerful little robot that tells me good evening, radio audience. I would trust him with my life. Okay, and we actually need a little bit of that gold color for this part right here in the middle. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this color palette, this set of colors, into a tonal correction layer. And do a little bit of gradient mapping. I kind of like that, actually. That's really doing it for me. Let's try this one. Okay, I think add is the winner here. Hang on. Combine these, and then just going to adjust the skin tone so it doesn't look so off. Select color gamut. This one, please. Oh god, no, don't increase the luminosity. Or the saturation. Oh god, no. Okay, just a little bit on that direction, but we gotta like decrease the luminosity a little bit too to compensate. Actually, let's decrease the saturation too. Yeah, I think that feels like a nice color palette to me. Nothing gets lost this way. Actually, and we need to very quickly just add this little bit here. There we go. How does this thing end? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. There we go. And then we can just add in this color right here. Perfect. Do the skulls have like... Yeah, they do have like black irises, actually. Hang on. I feel like I should almost erase the rest of this eye. Yeah, I feel like that looks cleaner. I feel like that's the right way forward. I should save this, huh? There was a period in my life when I would just name my art files anything I wanted. And I have come to regret that period in my life immensely. Now, I feel like you need the little, like, eyeball thing there. Okay. Actually, bring back the Sonic reference. Where... How is, like... Okay, I see. Hang on. I think I know how to do this. Okay, lasso. Remove this bit here. And then for this bit here, what we want to do... Hang on. Is have like a slightly darker tone near the top, and then a darker tone towards where like the actual shadow would come in. So it would look a little bit like this. Foreground to background. Not quite. Not quite. No, I think the reason it works is because there's also like a contrast. Like there's a much brighter contrast. Okay, we can try that out. Nah, I think I'm just going to go for my normal shading style. A little bit darker than that with the shadow. Yeah, okay. I need to connect these sector lines to make it smooth. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Hang on, can I like control point? Here we go. I didn't quite connect the lines that I wanted to connect. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I think this one does call for simplifying the vector line. Process whole line. There we go. How's that look? Yeah, that's much more manageable. Okay, how about like that? Yeah, okay, that works. Yeah, okay. I think having half his face obscured like that actually really certainly works with the kind of vibe that I'm going for. Yeah, I think society is ready for us to bring back edge lord character designs. I do think that we are at that point because time was 2008. You couldn't skip a stone without accidentally hitting some dude who had more spikes on his armor than he knew what to do with. But I think now we're ready for it. Now society is ready to return to that time period, that golden age. Because I do feel like, in an attempt to, because I think like it is a little bit of that theory of cycles, right? I think because we went into, you saw this happen in like the 40s and 50s, not even the 40s and 50s, but like in the 80s too. You had these superheroes who were like, Bloodshot, I think, or like Youngblood or something like that. They had like these ridiculous edgelord names, and they all like that had like blood or whatever in them, because they were like a response to the like superheroes from the 70s and 60s who were like these straight edges, right? But then those kind of got overdone, and it was kind of once again 90s. It got back to that idea of like sincerity and like not being an edgelord. And again, it got popular, and again it started like a reactionary movement. Like, oh yeah, no, we're not like these do-gooder heroes, which lasted I think until like 2008. I don't know. Like, I feel like once My Hero Academia came out, that's kind of like, for me, that's when we shifted right back into like the idea that the protagonist needs to be like a very kind, gentle person. And it's not saying that like a lot of these characters weren't kind and gentle. They were, but they had like that like upper crust of like edginess. You wanted them to feel like they were like hardcore and edgy. But I do think like now we can, especially with Zagreus. Zagreus looks like he should be like an edgelord design, but he's not. He doesn't feel like an edgelord because he's just like a normal, polite young man. If cheeky, he's a very cheeky, polite young man. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, there is that like 20-year cycle theory going around. I don't remember where it had a specific name, but the idea is that every 20 years, society will like culturally we need like to flip. You can think of it as a pendulum. So kind of like how I was saying that in like the 80s we had this idea of like edgelord protagonists. The pendulum swung in that direction, and for a while things for people who wrote edgelord protagonists were good. But then the pendulum swung back, and again we have kind of like have these like early 2000s hero who were just like normal, well-to-do dudes. I don't know. I think the problem is as well that I'm also I'm thinking of media as a whole, because I do feel like each country has is on their own cycle time, right? Like each individual culture is probably on its own type of cycle, on its own time scale. Hmm. Then over here. Maybe I'll just make half of these like this darker color. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. I kind of want to change the red here to like a no. I think it needs to be that kind of like bright rosy red. Hmm. No, I think it needs to be like a solid color like that. That, or it needs to have like a even darker color within that we can do for this. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Hang on. And then right here for the hair, we need another type of different dark color. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, I think that's ready to go. How are we for time? I can go for another half hour. We have the skull to finish at least. The only bad part is that this Zagreus drawing, while absolutely excellent, doesn't provide the theme of like Hades nuts. Also, I feel like I need to hang on. Yeah. This point, while it's more true to the character design, I don't think it was working for me. That like pointed edge. There we go. Okay, then next up would probably be the skull, which I think I'm just going to color pick colors from Sakuras here. Putting these two together side by side is like a really different image for each one, huh? Yeah, thankfully though, because we have the color palette figured out from Zacharias, like I said, it should be a little bit faster. Okay. Let me grab the golden color from here. What happened to the T? Me, when I'm an 18th century Victorian gentleman and believe I've been poisoned. Okay. Hang on. I feel like I need to raise the T a little bit. Yeah, but then the lines are too thick right there, right? So we decrease the line width. Or actually, maybe we need to like put it outwards? Hang on. Okay, shift these guys out like this, and then... Huh, yeah, that actually works pretty good. Let me actually simplify these guys a little bit. There we go. While I'm at it... Yeah, I also winked a little bit here, didn't I? Wonder how that happened. Okay. Then for the background, it's going to be like a deep red back here. But yeah, circling back to that thing that I was talking about with like edgelord protagonists, it is also the case that I don't actively look out for them. So I think this might be just like what I've just generally been seeing more of. You know, this is 100% based on my own personal experiences, so I don't think I can talk about society at large like that. go. Let's do it like this. Let's make another red one right here. No, no. I think adding a yellow one there was the right choice. Maybe adding another orange one back. No. Yeah, no, this is the right choice. Hmm. Okay, so I think I'm going to need to increase the kind of contrast here. I think I am going to need to do some fancy stuff to the eyes. Here we go. I think this guy also kind of needs a light source in addition to what I've got already cooking here. I don't like this little thing that I was doing there. Actually, hang on. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna like make this half the darkened half. Yeah, I think that's gonna add something. There we go. Mm-hmm. Think about how. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to like increase the darkness to include this bit right here. The difficulty as well is that the S and the T are much thinner than the N, so it doesn't feel as good. I think I'm gonna need to like tighten up the S so that it doesn't have those gaps, and furthermore, hang on, and furthermore, kind of like clamps down on the T there. Does that make sense? Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I had the wrong color selected. My bad. All right, there we go. There we go. Oh yeah, I like the higher saturation. There we go. Hang on. Perfect. Okay. And then from there, we just need to keep working with that kind of angle. This has definitely gotten away from me. I did intend this to be like a simple like pin like design I could just like patch on my hoodie. But I'm not gonna lie, this kind of goes hard. Hang on, let me select color gamut, this thing right here. Hmm. Yeah, okay. All right, I've got an idea here for how to do this. Okay. There we go. And from there, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Perfect. Looking mighty fine if I do say so myself. Although it is missing a couple of things. So first of all, we need some additional highlights on the skull. There we go. Kind of like that. And just a touch of this acid kind of like meets in the middle there. Okay. Then a little bit more of a delicate touch back here too. There we go. Okay. These bits right here. I don't know. I feel like for the upper leaf ones, they almost need to be brighter than the leaves themselves. I feel like that would create a more striking image. Yeah. Yeah, that's much better. Hmm. Yeah, that also feels more kind of in line with what I want. How are we for time? Not doing too good. Hurry up and wrap this up. Okay. Okay, then over here. Bring this back even further. Now, I feel like the circlet almost needs to be like normally colored. If that makes sense. Like not so much with the dramatic shading and all that. Yeah, maybe on the final petals would be a good idea, but maybe not so much on the like first couple ones. Okay. Then for the A's and the... Okay, so this part might actually be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I need to figure out how to create the effect that I want to go for right here. It's almost like a gold effect or like a metallic effect, but not quite. It's gonna be more like crystalline. No, no. I think I might be over handling it there. I think maybe what I can do, maybe what I can add is getting some of this in here. Maybe not in such a way that it kind of like obstructs that. Now that one needs to be like slightly denser. Maybe... Yeah, there we go. This way it doesn't obstruct the writing so much. Then we actually do need a little bit of like gold effects for the nuts part. Thankfully, we've got a little gold circle bangle right over there that we can reference. There we go. Okay, and then for the highlight, yeah, okay, that looks hard as hell. Okay, I think we've done some good work here. How many people are still hanging on there? 4 viewers, nice. All right, let's go. Let me go find somebody to raid, and we can go I can go to bed because I'm honestly a little bit exhausted. All right, let me head back to the just chatting screen as well. There we go. Ah, Rice Beast. Well, he's just chilling on the bed. It's fine. All right. Well. Huh. Okay. V's doing the after. I imagine it's after the Toku Tuesday has finished. So we'll go say hi. All right. I will be checking my schedule in like a literal minute. Okay. I will be doing some. I forgot what I was doing tomorrow. Actually, hang on. My schedule's out of date. Yes. On Thursday, I'll be playing some more Hades, funnily enough. So I hope to see you guys there, and I will catch you all later. Bye.